The only reason you are not with your specific person right here, right now, in this moment is because you are not committed to the idea. Because in my previous video, I talk about how we are constantly making the choice or deciding what to be. But the moment you commit to being in a relationship with your specific person, and that's the only reality you are going to allow, you're going to see your reality, everything around you change right here, right now, in this moment. And that's how people manifest instantaneously or manifest overnight or quantum leap. This is exactly how it's done. Would you say there's a difference in being interested in something as compared to being committed to it? And obviously, there is. Someone who is just interested in change is not going to create the reality shift instantaneously as compared to the person who is committed to exactly what they desire. Because interest comes from, oh, I'm interested in my specific person if I don't have to do anything in order to get them. And yes, manifestation is effortless, but that's not power. You being interested in being with your specific person, you're just stating a preference. And obviously, we have a lot of preferences, but that doesn't impact who we feel we are. This is where then commitment comes into play. And you want to ask yourself, how often and how frequently are you feeling as if you are already with your specific person? And this is going to be huge in showing you exactly what is occurring, because every single external shift that you have in your reality is completely proportionate to the changes that we have internally. And this is something I will say time and time again, because this is how we get committed to the state and this is how we remain there. Because also, a lot of the times, people ask the question of how do I get into the state and how do I stay there? And obviously, there's ways to get into this state. The easiest way is going to be just to contemplate it. So just think about your manifestation. Think what it would be like if you already had it. Again, the word contemplate is one of the best ones that we can use in this scenario. But the way that we're actually going to stay there is to disconnect from our external reality, because that's actually probably the main reason why in which you might state you can't remain committed to the idea. You can't remain in the feeling of already being with your specific person. If I were to ask you why we haven't felt in the state or why we might come out of it, we're going to represent or state a bunch of external things. Maybe we're going to say distance. Maybe we're going to say third party. Maybe we're going to say literally anything else. They don't text me, communication. But none of that actually has anything to do with your state. So anytime people ask me, how do I get into the state and how do I remain there? The first answer is going to be intrinsic motivation, meaning that you want to have the whole purpose of getting into the state just for that. Right? The whole purpose of maintaining or why we even want our specific person is actually a feeling. So if we remember that and allow the feeling to wash over us, then we're going to see ourselves remain and stay in the state. Because the moment we actually connect our feelings to something in our external reality, that's the moment we get pulled out of it. And I'll give you a really good example of this happening in a coaching session. So someone actually today I was meeting up with actually was mentioning everything was going perfect with their specific person. Their specific person was asking them to go on vacations. Literally just a week ago, we were a night and day difference. Asking them to go on vacations, asking them to meet up. And again, a week ago, they're asking to go on a break and have nothing to do with each other, thinking that they wanted to be single. But just a shift in the feeling created this. But here's where then the feeling starts to take us out of the state. So in this way, this person was asking, so how do we then boost it? How do we then become or get into our committed relationship? But that thinking is actually the thing that pulls us out of the state. We're connecting it to something external. We're connecting the feeling, all these amazing, abundant feelings, to something outside of us. Because what would you rather have? Would you rather be dating your specific or going on dates with your specific person, hanging out, laughing, having fun, being intimate, going on vacations? So that's your first choice. Or have none of that and have the imaginary label that you are in a relationship. And I know this thinking leads, like, there's no way that this person won't manifest exactly what we want. But the more we focus on the feeling, the faster we're going to get into that state. And the moment we let this go and try to rush out of it is the moment that we actually fall out of it, because we begin connecting our manifestation success to something external to us. But in reality, we are in the state feeling absolutely amazing and absolutely abundant. So with this intrinsic motivation, meaning the thing of what you're doing is the goal in itself, we need to disconnect the feeling from the 3D. Your internal feeling has nothing to do with the 3D, because even think of that person as an example. If they were desiring to be with their specific person, which they are, and they're only going to be happy if they were in a relationship, how are they happy right now? And we already know if you were to choose all of these amazing things or the imaginary label of being in a relationship, we'd obviously choose the happiness, the love, and the abundance. You would never want to be with your specific person without it. So that's the disconnection that we're going to create that thus propels you and makes your manifestation a million times faster. That's how you're going to get from point A to B, where you feel you are, to being with your specific person, literally instantaneously. That's the talk about being committed to your specific person, and that's what's causing your reality to change. Just in my previous video, I stated that you can just decide to be whatever you want right here and right now in this moment. So we're basically reaching what you would call, or what Neville Goddard would call, the Sabbath state, right? In this case, the Sabbath state is the state in which you already put in all the work, you're in the feeling, you already assumed as if you already have what you want, and you don't have to do anything. There's nothing extra to do. At this point in time, you can feel it and then let it go, and that's your entire reality. You don't have to do anything extra. So this person in that coaching call has reached that Sabbath state. They are thus in the feeling, in the sensation, and they don't have to add or do anything else. They're actually experiencing all of the amazing love and abundance in their reality in this current moment, even though in the external, they're not technically dating as of yet. This is propelling them to that reach or to that outcome. That's what you would call the Sabbath state, because Neville Goddard discusses it as, after you've put in your work, that's like Sunday, right? The Sunday, the day of no work. After you've done your 6 days of work, you reach the Sunday, the Sabbath state, and you don't have to do anything extra. That's the way to manifest in the quickest and fastest and easiest way possible, but it's just becoming committed to your manifestation and to your specific person. So basically, we're setting standards on how we're going to feel disconnected from the 3D reality. Because as you've heard me say multiple times, and I will keep saying this because it's so important, so simple, everybody overlooks it, but the frequency at which you enter into the state is the only important factor when you're manifesting. That's the only thing that's going to matter, is the frequency at which we're feeling as if we already have what we want. So make that your standard. So this person in my coaching session, they're good to go, right? They just need to maintain this standard, set those standards for how you're going to feel, commit to this reality no matter what. Do not tell anyone of your manifestation. Don't talk about things that go against what you want. Refuse to act and think or complete any negative thought or action, and you will never, ever come out of the state. Because another question, and this is actually from a different time someone asked me this, because this was actually a question someone asked. They also said, so do I need to let go? Do I need to let go of my specific person? And the answer is no. You don't have to let go of your specific person. You only have to let go of your 3D. The 3D, thinking that you need to experience and have this thing in your 3D in order to be happy, is just not true. Right? You have the sensation, you can commit to the feeling right now. And after you commit to the feeling, you will see everything in your reality change literally overnight. I guarantee you, if you try this out, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. So stop Stop wasting time. Stop trying to force your reality. Stop thinking in the 3D. Stop overthinking. Commit to your specific person, and you will see a massive change in everything. This is a guarantee. I guarantee you, if you try this out, you are going to experience life with your specific person. If you did have any questions on this, make sure to leave them in the comment section below. And then remember, you can also reach out to me on my website at kyleaugustcoaching.com. If you do know for a fact you are committing today to being with your specific person, leave a thumbs up in this video and then don't forget to subscribe. Thank you again so much for stopping by today, and I'll see you in our next video tomorrow.